of you are terrible friends, not for wanting to be better, but for lack of knowing how to be better. Okay, so here I am, your internet sister, to hold your hand and help you, okay, to do a better job. Here on episode 1, we're going to be discussing reciprocation. Now listen, the art of reciprocation is very, very important in friendship. A lot of times in our relational dynamics, there are going to be givers and there are going to be takers. Natural givers, natural takers. We're all on a spectrum. Most of us, we give sometimes, we take sometimes we give more than we take, and vice versa. Ebbs and flows. We are humans. But naturally, amongst human beings, there's going to be one person that tends to give more than the other and one that tends to receive. One that's more passive, one that's more active. It's kind of just the way that relationships work. You're not expected to meet a person and you match each other's energy 100% of the time. It just doesn't tend to work like that, right? And I truly believe there's nothing wrong if you're in a relationship and you tend to be more of the person who leans on the other, needs the other more emotionally. You know, you're not the most proactive in making plans, but maybe you turn up. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. However, when you notice that you are in a dynamic where you are disproportionately benefiting from receiving emotional support, mental support, spiritual support, physical support, you are disproportionately benefiting by receiving, pause, and maybe once or twice a year, for goodness sake, think, how can I flip the script? How can I show my friend who is a disproportionate giver that I also too can give? Do you know what? I'm going to book us a reservation at her favourite restaurant. I'm going to send her flowers to her house. I'm going to do a random mental health check-in on her instead of waiting for her to do it on me this time. Because she always does it on me. It doesn't mean you're trying to switch roles. It's very okay for one of you to be more giving or more proactive than the other. But if you never attempt to love your friend in their language, I must question how good of a friend you really are, okay? So it's not about being your friend or trying to match your friend or trying to one-up your friend. It's about considering your friend. And we are going to talk about the art of consideration in episode 2.
You know something we don't praise enough? We don't praise having genuine friendships with people, having genuine connections with people, people that regulate our nervous system. We never talk about that. You ever had a friend that was so good, when you see their name come up on the screen, you know it ain't nothing but positive energy. You know it ain't finna be nothing negative. You know y'all finna laugh and joke, and it ain't gonna be a bunch of he said this and she said that and they said this. And you know it's not gonna be none of that. So you don't even have to think about protecting your peace, because you know everything finna be positive. You don't even it never even crosses your mind that let me brace myself for this phone call. Let me brace myself because I don't know what I'm finna get. I don't know what was said about me. I don't know what was heard about me. You don't even have to think about it, because you know they coming with nothing but positivity. You know you finna feed into them, and you know they finna feed into you. You know that y'all finna talk about y'all dreams, y'all aspirations, the things y'all already accomplished in life, the things you know you're gonna accomplish in life. Y'all, we don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about those positive friendships that we have that keep us stable, that keep us going. We don't talk about it enough. I had a friend I talked on the phone to for 5 hours. It was never one negative conversation. We had 1,000 conversations. We talked about the Bible. We talked about God. We talked about family. We talked about love. We talked about relationships. We talked about social media. We talked about everything positive. Nothing was brought up negative. It was never nothing that he said or she said. It was about ways to make ourselves better. How can we become better women? How can we become better mothers? How can we become a better mate, a better spouse? That's what these conversations be about. We do not talk about that enough, to have genuine friendships with genuine people that you love and you know for a fact they love you back. You don't even got to think about it. You know they love you back. It ain't never been a thought. Y'all, if you got a friend like that, send this to your friend. If you got a friend that you know without a shadow of a doubt would do anything for you and would never steer you wrong, send this to your friend and say, girl, boy, man, sir, woman, I love you. I love you, and thank you for always being there for me. Thank you for always feeding into me. Thank you for always letting me know that tomorrow will bring a better day. When I'm going through it, thank you for always letting me know tomorrow will be better. All you got to do is keep going. Thank you. Y'all, we gotta let the people that we love know that we love them and we thankful for them. I love y'all. Thank y'all for putting up with my shit, because I know sometimes I can be a handful. Thank you. Thank you for redirecting me when I'm going in the wrong direction. Thank you. And you know I'm always gonna do the same for you. To the end.
People often ask me, like, how have I been able to maintain and build so many friendships over the years? And the key to that is showing up for people. I inherited that because I have a mother who shows up for people. And ever since I was a little girl, she ensured that when my friends had birthday parties, when they had events, that she took me, that she supported their moms in their endeavors. And so naturally, as I've gotten older, that has become a big value and a priority to me. Most of building really good friendships is knowing how to show up for people. It's knowing when to go to their events. It's going when you don't feel like it. Being intentional. It's making the time to pour into it. Even with new people that I've met, that I've befriended, it's because each of us will reach out. Hey girl, just checking in. What you got going on? What's shaking? Hope all is well. Oh, you heard about that new place? Let's go try that. Let's put something on the calendar. It's that simple. See, y'all problem is y'all be wanting friends, real friends, but y'all don't want to show up for shit. Oh, I don't feel like it. Something came up. It means putting in that date on the calendar so you don't forget it. And sometimes if I can't show up physically, I go the extra mile to show up in spirit. I send flowers. I send edible arrangements. I may drop off a gift or a card later. I make the effort. And sometimes it's doing the stuff that you really don't want to do, but you do it for the sake of friendship, like taking somebody or picking them up from the airport, helping them move, going over to paint a wall or hang a TV or anything, cook a meal, helping them prep for an event, helping them decorate. Sometimes it's being there through those hard moments. It's showing your face at their loved one's funeral who passed, even though you got to run to work real quick. It's helping them prep the food for the repast. It's sitting with them at the viewing. It's sending words of encouragement when you know that they're going through a rough patch. It's telling them that they lashing out and self-sabotaging because they going through something and they ain't handling it in a healthy way. See, people want to reap the benefits of friendship but don't want to do any of the work. It doesn't happen like that. So while I was raised to know and learn how to show up for people, I also was raised to understand the importance of reciprocity. I don't just do all of this for people who aren't returning that energy to me. I definitely continuously evaluate who is missing from my events. And I know that most people are like, oh, focus on who's there. I've never been that girl, baby. I'm going to be able to tell you at the end of the party who told me they was coming, who didn't show up, who should have been there, and who didn't say anything that they were about not coming. So that is a constant reevaluation. So I'm not saying, oh, continue to show up and pour into people who aren't pouring into you. No, you put them people where they need to go and you don't put that energy towards them. But when it comes to the people who always make an effort, you also have to return that effort.
For some reason, in my adult life, I found myself with less friends every year. And I'm in a space of my life where I don't understand what they're going. I understand what they're going, but I don't understand what they're going, right? I don't really understand why. No, I do. I cut people off. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My cutoff game is very strong. But she set a point where you saw this growing up. She saw her mother being a good friend to people, showing up to people's birthdays, sending gifts in the absence of being there in spirit. She saw these things, and that's a big thing for me, because if you didn't grow in certain conditions, you're gonna have to learn that skill. And a lot of people who find it hard to make friendships may have an issue with this because your parents isolated you and made you feel like the world is against you and everybody is your enemy. Do you understand? So that was a really good point for me. The other things that she was saying, reciprocity is also a big thing. You don't just say you're going to show up for somebody and then they don't show up for you. That's not how it works. Friendship is you do something, me do something. Me benefit, you benefit. You grow, me grow. Keep growing, keep growing. That's how friendship is. We can't sit down and keep playing the fool when bad friends want good friend behavior. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. When we understand that you are going to go through phases in this life where friendship differs, some friendships are stagnant, some friendships will be cut off, some friendships just won't have no form of meaning whatsoever after a certain point. Some friendships you might cut off for now, but then later on the friendship will come back. A lot of us need to understand that just because you talk to somebody and you meet them for the first time and you just had a simple conversation, you are now friends. I am learning in these years, choosing your friends is detrimental to your success. Understanding that friend dating is real, sometimes you have to have the real conversations and what you're comfortable with. Me, obviously, sometimes you can't afford the time to question an individual about things or going on friend dates, but sometimes you just have to make the time. And me being a mom with young kids, sometimes I make family dates, and that's how we even get to have a conversation, because if I can't bring my kids, you probably will not see me majority of the time in this period of my life. Another thing that I cut off was international friendships. A lot of my international friendships, conversing and texting over the phone has taken a toll, right? Which I would be honest with. I'm not going to front about it because it's hard to stay at one. There's a time difference. I have friends from all over the world. I have friends from London, Germany, Russia, Hungary, Japan, all these people across the world, and I'm supposed to remember what time you go to bed. Lord, I'm going through it getting these kids to sleep. Do you understand? So you have to give yourself grace and understand that some friendships, they'll still be good, but you just have to understand people are in a different space and time in their life, right? And some of my friends don't have kids, so they won't understand. Some of my friends do have kids, so I do understand that we're not going to have a conversation every single day. And I respect that. I respect your boundaries, and being an understanding person is also being a great friend. There's so many things in this lifetime that you just cannot take for granted though. I know sometimes though, there's this rare occurrence, where you meet this one person and y'all hit it. You don't have no ill feeling. Your spirit is like, this is a good person and I appreciate them. You don't hear them talking about nobody but themselves. They're minding their business. They're into their creativity. They're into their art. Trust me, when you find that person, it will work out so well. They will understand you. You would understand them. It's not a relationship, but a friendship. You know what I'm saying? So understanding who you are as a person also plays a major role in being a great friend. Understanding that you show up for yourself, you treat yourself nicely. If you value the things of, I love dressing up, I love going out, partying, or I love reading, I love writing, I love creating, I just like being alone and crayoning and just journaling. I want to have a journal party. I want to create theme parties. I hope someone can do that with me. I want someone to check up on me. Like, these are the things we need to converse about in these so-called friendships, and just expect people to read your mind. Who is going to read your mind? Not me. Not me. Not me. There's nobody on this earth that can read your mind. You need to open your mouth. Unless you have telekinesis, please open your mouth and tell these people what you want, dear. Please tell them what you want, because life is so short, and for you to be upset that this person didn't call you because they forgot what day it was is a mess. Okay? There's a misunderstanding there You know what? I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. Do not allow a good thing to pass you by because of your stubbornness. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, last point on this video, I want you to understand, in any situation, you can just hint at questions you want to know. Eventually, skip out the basic questions like, oh, where'd you work? Get to the thick of it. You know, oh, so how do you discipline your children? Do you believe this and that? Like, have these conversations with these people. Allow them to know a little bit about you. You got to share some of your dirt too. You can't just be this one-sided person. You know what I'm saying? You need to share stuff about yourself as well and make it possible. You understand? Yeah. So being a friend is reciprocity. Understanding that this is not just a one-side thing, and give yourself grace in where you are in your life. And sometimes your friends would just be your family for now until you find friends outside of yourself. And there's different friends for different seasons too. Not this one friend is not for every season of your life. Okay? You have a friend to go out to the club with. You have a friend to go to church. If you go to church, you have a friend to go shopping if they love shopping. You have a friend that just wants to journal and burn sage and do all the hippie stuff and boho stuff, you know? And just let it be. Let it flow and understand where you are. Okay? Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all in the next video.